assume if you clicked on this video that you are looking for information on the Fix-It Grammar series from IEW, which is the Institute for Excellence in Writing. Rather you're an experienced homeschool mom, a new homeschool mom, or maybe you're just a mom looking at different options and considering homeschool for this coming school year. No matter what category you fall into, I hope that this video will help you in deciding if Fix-It Grammar is right for you. Before we get into the video, I just want to take a minute to tell you a little bit about myself and my background. My name is Amanda. I live in North Mississippi. My family live on a small sheep farm. We have about 5.5 acres. We raise meat sheep, we have chickens, we've raised other animals on our farm. We have dogs. My husband runs his own landscaping business, and we homeschool. Now, I've homeschooled for 16 years, going on 17 years. I have 4 children. The 2 older ones started out in public school, and then we pulled them out and began to homeschool. And then my 2 younger children have always homeschooled. 3 of my kids have graduated. We still have 1 at home that we are educating. That's a little bit of history about myself. I have homeschooled for over 16 years, but just a little disclaimer. I by no means know everything about homeschooling. And there are some areas that I am stronger in and some areas that I'm quite weak in. And over 16 years, you definitely figure out what those are, and you figure out what you're not so good at and the things that you are pretty okay at. Language arts, and particularly grammar, is not my strong point. That is just, it's not my strong point at all. So when we began to homeschool, I tried several different types of curriculum. I began using Fix-It Grammar probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 actually. And I really, really do like it. In fact, I used it for a little while, then switched to something else, and then we came back to Fix-It Grammar. First, let me just tell you that Fix-It Grammar is a very gentle way of teaching grammar. The Fix-It Grammar curriculum is divided into 6 levels, and I actually have 4 of the levels right here. The first level is based on the story, The Nose Tree. This is basically all you need. There are a few more resources on their website that you can find, such as flashcards. When you order your kit, you can order the combo kit, and it includes the student book and the teacher book. The teacher's manual is basically just a copy of the student book, but with more information. The lessons are kind of scripted. There's a lot of explanation in the teacher's manual in case you have any questions. Like I said a while ago, it's broken down into 6 levels, but that does not mean 6 grades, like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. That is not what that means. When you look their curriculum up, you'll see that the first level is recommended for 3rd grade through 5th grade. So level 1 does not mean 1st grade, level 2, 2nd grade, level 3, 3rd grade. You can really start your student in these books anytime you want to. Just, make sure they're ready for this type of thing. Okay, we are going to look at the teacher's manual first. So here in the teacher's manual, the first page shows you some free resources that you can download on their website. Those are very helpful. There are clear instructions on how to use the book. This instruction page is in the teacher's manual as well as the student manual. You will use markings such as symbols for indentation, insert, like if you need a word or something inserted, a delete symbol, capitalize, lowercase, inverse order, add a space, and close the space. So your student will learn how to use these symbols as well. So as we flip through the book a little bit, you'll see that there's a Learn It section, a Read It section, a Mark It section, Fix It section, and Rewrite It section. The Learn It page, in fact, let me just open the student book here. I'm trying not to make this video too long. And I apologize if if the camera's a little bit wonky. I spent like 30 minutes or longer trying to get the camera in a good position. You're literally sitting across the table from me in a chair. So I hope you feel like you're sitting right here talking to me with a cup of coffee. Okay, the Learn It page, which it tells you how to use it here. This is what the Learn It page looks like in the student book. The Learn It page introduces the new concept for that week. The Learn It page introduces the new concept. So, when your student gets older, perhaps they could read this themselves and know what to do. But when your student is younger, you really need to take a day to go over the Learn It page and to introduce the new concept. And it doesn't take long. This curriculum is designed to do in about 15 minutes per day. It takes us a little bit longer, but about 15 minutes. So you do need to go over the Learn It page. All right, so this is day 1, and it has 3 different sections up here. It's got the Read It section. This is for the vocabulary. Your student will keep a regular notebook or binder, whatever your student prefers. And they're going to write down these vocabulary words that are found in bold print in the sentence. They're going to look the vocabulary word up, write it down, so they'll, be able to more understand the sentence, of course. So once they look the vocabulary word up and write the definition down, then they're going to come over here to the Mark It and Fix It sections. You can do either section first. A lot of times I think we like doing the Fix It section first. Fix It means fix what's wrong with the sentence. So there might be capitalization, an end mark that's not here that they need to correct, apostrophes, homophones, that type of thing. So they have to fix what is wrong here. And then Mark It means they're going to go through and they're going to label each part of speech that they have learned about thus far. So here, the first lesson consisted of articles and nouns. There's 2 articles and 5 nouns, so they'll go through here and write above the word if it's an article or if it's a noun. And then when they get done with that, I like to check the sentence first, make sure they have the Fix It part correct and have everything labeled correctly. Then they will rewrite the sentence down here at the bottom. This may not look like a lot, and it's really not. It starts out real easy and real gentle. But the farther along you get in this program, the more complex the sentences get. For instance, this is level 2 that we're looking at, and it has 2 articles, 5 nouns on day 1. Let's take a look at one of the days. Okay, so this is week 26, day 3, and then you have this long list of things that they have to do. Coordinating conjunctions, prepositional phrases. They have to identify the subject and verb pair. Of course, adverbs, adjectives, nouns, articles. And in this book, it looks like they began learning the different sentence openers, clauses, and things like that. All right, I showed you the download page in the teacher book. I showed you the instruction page. Now there's another page I want to show you, or 2 more actually. The additional resources, it tells you here some of the additional resources you can get. You can get the flashcards, which I do recommend. Now, like I said earlier, I've been using this for a long time, so I've got the old style flashcards. I don't have the new ones. The new ones are like colorful, and I probably need to order the new set, but I haven't done that yet. On this page, it will show you the new concept introduced each week as well. And then there's a scope and sequence page that also just gives you more of an idea of all the concepts that are going to be introduced in this book and when they will be introduced. There's also a list of the vocabulary words here. I believe one of the free downloads on their website is you can actually download a vocabulary list that includes the definition with it. And then here you can see how it's broken down into 30 weeks. The weeks are broken down into 4 days. So you can do grammar 4 days and have a day off, or you can do grammar 4 days and maybe make up a little quiz or a little test or something, because these books don't come with tests or quizzes. That's part of the gentle learning style. But you can test them and quiz them on your own, or you could get some worksheets from some other types of worksheets, and they could do it on that 4th day. Or you can just keep going with the book, and then you'll just get done that much earlier with the book and be able to move on to the next level. So in the back of the student book, there's a copy of this in the teacher book as well. There are spaces where they can write down all the adverbs. They will make a list of strong verbs, and they'll make a list of quality adjectives. Quality adjectives meaning something more descriptive than just a color or a size or a number, something like wonderful, awesome, sneaky, some kind of describing word like that. So it teaches them to think and use more descriptive words in their sentences. In the back of the teacher's manual, there is a glossary right here. This glossary is can explain further the parts of speech, sentences, phrases, clauses, punctuation. They have additional concepts in here like indentation, capitalization, numbers. Also, there's a section for stylistic techniques. There's also a review page at the end of the book, and there's a copy of the complete story in the back of the book, and they suggest you making yourself familiar with the story before you start this book. So this is the story. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, and throughout the year your student will have written the whole story down. So if you're like me and grammar is a weak area for you, there are pages and pages in the back of the book that further explains all of the concepts, which is very helpful. Then the very last page tells you what is next. When they are done with this book and they have written all their sentences down, in the back of the book it shows you where you can take this to a printing company, or maybe you have a page cutter that's a lot stronger than mine. You can take this and they can cut the whole book, they cut it off, so that your student has their very own little book of this story in their own handwriting. Now, back a long time ago when I first started using this curriculum, the way it was set up is they would write the corrected sentence, they would start in the beginning of their notebook and write the corrected sentence down. Then they would flip to the back of their notebook and start with vocabulary words back here. So they would have one notebook The back part was vocabulary and the front part was the story. I kind of like this. I like the old setup a little bit better. Now, I love the new setup too. Maybe I prefer the old setup a little bit better because once they have everything printed in their notebook, it looks more like a story. Like they can identify the paragraphs better, and it's more like a book instead of here you just have one sentence each day. So what we may do when we start this new book is I may just get my daughter to write down her corrected sentences in a spiral bound notebook. But that's what's wonderful about this curriculum. You can do it either way you want to, or both ways if you want to. I actually have 4 of the 6 levels here, and I'll show you what they look like. The first level is based on the nose tree. The second level is based on town mouse and country mouse. The third level is based on Robin Hood. I don't have the 4th or 5th levels, and I can't remember what they're based on right now. And then the last level is the Little Mermaid. I had this from a previous child that did this curriculum. Y'all, and this curriculum is not expensive. It is currently, right now, the price on the IEW website is $29 for both. This is really all you need, with the exception of the flashcards, and you can even make your own flashcards if you need to. I'm not sure how much the flashcards are. I haven't looked at that. Also, I showed you in the teacher's manual the page for the free downloads. Well, there are other free resources on the IEW website as well. It's worth checking into. IEW also does a writing curriculum, which I'm not going to go over today. I do plan to do that. I've also used that curriculum in the past, and I plan to use it with my daughter. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer anything that I can answer. Like I said earlier, disclaimer, even though I've homeschooled for 16 plus years, I by no means know everything about homeschooling. And like I said, I have strong areas and I have weak areas. If you'd like to check out any of our videos about our farm, our animals, and just kind of who we are, what we do, please look up some of our old videos. We're gonna definitely be including more homeschooling videos. If you'd like to see an overview of what we're doing this coming school year, go back and check out the last video that I did. I showed you an overview of what we're doing for the next school year. All right, I hope I did not ramble on too much. I hope you got a clear idea of what this curriculum is like. Your life will take you through many different seasons, and I hope that this season of homeschooling is a season that you're able to enjoy. We'll see you in the next video.